Hi, everyone. My name is Jason Godinius. I'm the Director of Marketing here at CFP Board. I'm joined by my colleague, Amanda Zapata, our Marketing Manager. And we really just wanted to put something together to make sure everyone's aware of the resources that CFP Board's put together to help you prepare for exam day. So first thing I want to talk about is our CFP Board Practice Exam. I want to talk a little bit about the intent of this practice exam. We've had various formats or iterations of this tool in the past. What we've been working towards is building the closest experience of what you can actually expect on exam day. So what does that mean? It means that it's actually built on the same Prometric exam software that you'll experience when you go into a testing center. It means that questions match the same level of content coverage on the exam per each domain area. It means you're going to have the same question level resources that are on the exam, how you'd find the tax tables, formula sheets, all the other items you need to successfully navigate the questions. You'll also receive, and this is a new feature that's incredibly important, is a diagnostic score report identifying your strengths and weaknesses. You know, this is a critical tool. Our hope with this program and our intent with this practice exam resource is really two things. One is to take away the uncertainty of really, what is the exam? How does it work? How will I be using, my mouse and computer to navigate all of those tools? So this will allow you to get familiar with like the real experience of that exam, from your home, sort of at your own pace here. The other piece is this diagnostic report. And so when you complete your exam, you will get back a percentage score of how you did on questions across all of the domain areas. We encourage you to use this tool early on in your study process and use that diagnostic report as a way to sort of self-identify, hey, there's some areas I may want to improve upon. No matter what your scores are, we don't want you to be discouraged. It is a starting point to benchmark from. And it's something where as you progress with your review course provider, your study groups, or whatever other pieces of your study plan you feel like are going to make you successful, you should then be seeing progress and improvement along the way. And to that end, we actually have 2 practice exams available. They're both 170 questions. You have 24 hours to complete the practice exam once you start. You don't just have to do it in 6 like you do on exam day, but it's meant to put you in that real exam day mentality. There's 2 options, one complimentary to all folks who register for the exam and one available for purchase. Again, we hope you use this early on in your practice. Let's see what this looks like. Here you've got 2 basic screenshots on the left side. Here's an example of what you may see going through one of the questions on the practice exam. And how to access the formulas, tax tables, and calculators that you would need to answer this question successfully. On the right-hand side is an example of your score report, your diagnostic score report. Again, identifying here are some areas where I may be strong in, here's where I may be, kind of decent in, and some areas where I may need to have some improvement.
Another resource that we have is the Candidate Forum. This is a peer-to-peer support community intended to help as you continue through CFP certification. And there is a lot of exam preparation information that is available in this community. There are thousands of candidates each exam cycle that take the CFP exam and are reading the community. They're in the community answering questions, though they're reading along with you as you prepare. You also have access to candidates who have previously taken the CFP exam. There are a lot of candidates, who have taken the exam and working towards their next steps. So there's a lot of great experience and perspective when preparing. And then also you have access to CFP professionals who are still part of the community and come in and answer questions. They've recently been certified, recently passed the exam. So they do have a lot of great knowledge and experience to share with you. They provide recommendations that you based on your questions, where did you study? How did you study? Where did you find the best resources? There are Ask the Expert sessions. These are formal sessions with volunteer CFP professionals available to answer your questions based off of questions that you ask and with their real life experience. And then there's also a study group forum that you can join that includes exam tips and sample questions and other candidates, other peers talking through how they would think through some of the answers that go along with the questions that are asked. You'll see here 2 screenshots of our candidate forum. We do have some study plans posted by candidates based off of what they did on their road to taking the CFP exam. So there's, again, a lot of different perspective and opportunities to read through what other candidates did on their road to the exam. And then also recommendations from candidates, right? We post some questions. Where were you at this point in time prior to taking the exam? What were you doing? What were you finding successful, or things that you were working on? There's a lot of different time points here that you can see, that you can read through based off of where you are relative to you taking the exam. Another resource that we have that is very helpful is our CFP Exam Candidate Handbook. This is intended to help you understand the exam process from start to finish. So we want you to understand the registration and scheduling aspects of exam registration, as all the way through, the principal knowledge topics that you're going to be tested on exam day. You'll also learn about what to expect on exam day, what you'll need to bring to the exam, make sure you're totally comfortable going into your exam day, and then what to expect after the exam. How are you going to receive your results? What is that going to look like? You'll see here, this is some more information about our handbook. Again, it lists, it really just helps you make sure you're prepared. This is an easy thing to take and put on your study prep checklist to make sure, okay, I've read the handbook, I understand what I need to bring into exam day, what I need to bring just to make sure I'm only thinking about laser focused on, taking the exam and answering the questions. And this is going to take a lot of that mystery out of, okay, I need to make sure I have my valid ID with me, and what do I expect when I get my locker, and all of that, again, going into exam day, making you feel totally comfortable and prepared.
I also want to take a minute to talk about our candidate exam toolkit. So while the handbook talks about, the practical sort of process around the exam, checking in the content that will be tested, how the results will come through, the exam toolkit is more about helping you sort of prepare, I guess, psychologically for the exam, really focused on how to develop your study plan. And a key to this is about how to create a supportive learning environment. There's more to a study plan than just, how many hours I'm going to study or what topics I'm going to focus on. How do I map out my calendar for that? What we've heard from successful candidates is that they also reach out to the other groups that are going to be impacted by this, to have a supportive environment all around them, whether that's their employers, their family, coworkers, other folks in the area. So it talks a little bit about some strategies and ways to create this overall supportive learning environment. It does talk about developing a test strategy as well. Some key items that are in there, for example, are helping identify time wasters. As you're studying and you're feeling that things aren't productive, or you identify areas where you really need to focus, there's just some practical tools to help you think through and manage your study preparation. Let's take a look at what this looks like. Here's an example of a shot here. Again, one of the main things that people struggle with is, how do I manage my time, especially between work, life, balance, all of these priorities that we have these days. There's tools for really to think through how to do this. Make sure you have the time available to commit to your studying so you can be successful on exam day. Some tracking tools, how to analyze, what's been effective that I've been doing, what I feel is not so effective. And then even just to make some notes on how do I adjust to reprioritize along the way. So I really feel strong and confident going into the exam day. Another program that we have is our mentor program. And so our mentor program is focused and available for those folks who are taking the upcoming CFP exam. So there's one mentor program enrollment cycle per exam, meaning we have a March exam mentor program, a July exam mentor program, and a November exam mentor program. And the real key to this, the value to this is we can connect you as someone pursuing certification with a CFP professional who has been successful on the exam, right? They've walked in your shoes. They have real experience about what this means and how they tackled this successfully. So the value that they can provide there is offering advice on your study plans. One of the most important things we hear that seems to resonate is they serve as support or accountability partners to keep you motivated. Did you really follow up on your study plan? Are things getting in the way? They can help talk to you about how to tackle those things. And then again, they can tell you their real experience, how they did on the exam, what they walked through for the exam. For some, they had to retake the exam. What was that experience like for them? How they changed along the way to be successful. So we encourage you, when you register for the exam, please take a look and make sure the enrollment window is still open, and that we can help pair you up with a CFP professional to help you through the process. This is an example of the site where actually you can enroll as a mentee. It's under the Become a Mentee tab. You can find the site at cfp.net/mentors. You will need to create a profile as a mentee before you can begin matching. Once you have a profile set up, you can simply use this Find a Mentor tab and start searching through, find people in your area. You can search for people within a firm that maybe you also work with. The opportunities are up to you. And once that process begins, we send you some tools and resources along the way about just, hey, how do you get started? How do I engage with this other person? What should everybody's expectations be? And then you guys are successfully on your way to a great mentoring relationship.
And then, of course, we have other exam resources that are available for you to help you prepare and feel totally comfortable going into exam day. You can go to cfp.net/exam resources to find all of the resources that we've talked about today already, plus all of the other additional resources that we have available for you. Some of those resources include review courses. We do have a list of review courses that you can find and link to that are available on our website. Based on research that we've done with individuals who have taken the exam, one of the best resources, one of the best strategies and tactics that they've used when preparing for the exam is taking a review course. They found that it's very, very helpful to incorporate in their study plan. You can also use the candidate forum that I talked about earlier to go on to the discussion, find what other candidates are talking about, where they're taking review courses, what they've found really helpful in the different review courses that are out there. We also have an exam prep checklist. This is helpful to help you make sure you're incorporating different items of exam prep into your study plan. Make sure you're talking to your employer, make sure you're talking to your family. Everyone understands the time commitment that's going into studying for the exam. So a lot of different items just to kind of help make sure you're keeping track of everything that's important. We also have 10 sample exam questions that are available on the website. So this is maybe a little bit more of a pre-exam that you can use before you take the full-length practice exam. But there are 10 sample exam questions to help get you started thinking about how questions are answered, how questions are asked, rather, on the CFP exam. And then some other information such as habits of successful candidates and tax tables and formulas that you will see on exam day to help you prepare as you go through your question banks. If you have any questions about any of the resources that we've talked about today, or any questions about preparing for the CFP exam, please feel free to reach out to us. We are more than happy to help. You can reach us at getcertified2022@cfpboard.org. And we thank you for your time today.
Thanks so much, everyone.